The main focus of this event, the reading of those nearly 3,000 names of the people who lost their lives in the terrorist attacks. It was a process that took over 2.5 hours.
8:46 a.m. American Airlines Flight 11 crashes into Tower 1 of the World Trade Center.
On the stage, a piece of twisted metal from the World Trade Center and part of the Pentagon, reminders of destruction. Among those coming to pay their respects, presidential candidate Jeb Bush, who said he was proud of the way first responders and the country reacted, as well as the actions taken by his brother.
And I'm proud of the President of the United States at the time, who unified our country in a way that was desperately needed and created a strategy to keep us safe.
One of those who answered the call, Major John Fisher, now retired. He worked as a military liaison at Ground Zero. In the days following the attack, the Major said he learned a lot about the resiliency of the American people.
Who hailed from all walks of life and professions, who banded together as one to rescue, recover, and restore New York City.
Then, as the small crowd looked on, a reminder of what was truly lost 14 years ago, as Jeb Bush began reading the names, stumbling at times, the names reflecting the fact that more than 90 countries lost people in the terrorist attacks.
Cesar Amoranto Alvear, Tariq Amunula, Angelo Amaranto.
Others would follow Bush, including some students too young to remember 9/11.
Kevin Francis Clary.
Encouraged to participate to make sure America never forgets. Now, also on the stage here in Londonderry was a flag that flew over the U.S. Capitol on the first anniversary of 9/11. The veterans who put on the commemoration saying it's another example of American strength in the face of adversity. Reporting live in Londonderry, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.